Hello everyone, thanks for joining us here on Horizon. Well, this past year we experienced the widest spread drought in the past century. Temperatures hit all-time highs and crops, well, they withered. Yet as we sat down to Thanksgiving dinner, there was not a worry of food shortages. It's remarkable just how efficient and productive our agricultural sector is. And while we may not worry about how the food gets to our table, others do, which is where our Andy Barth has just returned from.
Rob, each year farm broadcasters and ag companies come together in Kansas City, Missouri to discuss agriculture and our nation's food supply. And this year, they had a lot to talk about: a record drought and the ongoing uncertainty over the lack of a new farm bill. As 2012 nears its end, farmers still don't have a new farm bill, which was one of the topics at this year's National Association of Farm Broadcasters convention.
The election didn't produce anything that would I consider to be a very threatening thing to agriculture.
Robert Bergland is a former United States Secretary of Agriculture appointed by President Carter, and he says a new farm bill will require cooperation from all 50 states.
We are trying to get a consensus on a farm bill extension, and there are honest differences of opinion. Usually it has to do with commodities. And what they want in Oklahoma, they may not want in Oregon, and vice versa. And so we're a country of 50 states, and we have to work out the differences.
And some of those differences related to the Farm Bill deal with the drought that spread across America's breadbasket both in 2011 and even more in 2012. Paul Penner is with the National Association of Wheat Growers.
Farmers are also businessmen, and we need to have a certain farm program in effect so that we understand what our risks are, what we can take to the bank, and as far as crop insurance, make sure we have adequate safety net in order to withstand another drought, because we're not out of the woods yet with the drought. We could have another year.
And Tom Legner from Cargill Crop Insurance says the drought impacted yields differently and left some farmers stuck with the wrong policy.
I think you've got yield, that's okay in some spots, very droughty in other spots, and it makes guys think, do I have the right insurance? Do they get the right plan? And some of them didn't. And it just needs to go back and say, stuff like this can happen. We're not going to have a great crop year after year after year. We really need to look at our risk and see what we need to do with it.
And Russ Goertzen from AGCO says that while farmers will have an uphill battle recovering from the drought, there are some preventative measures they can take.
Recovery from the drought is going to be tough. It's going to be a multifaceted. One thing that producers can insulate themselves with is doing their preventative maintenance throughout the year. What preventative maintenance programs do, it's an insurance policy that their equipment is going to be reliable when they need it the most. Finding those little problems before they become big ones, because they are stressed financially in a drought situation. If they can use these programs, they can draw that together and maybe prevent a big ticket item happening in the future.
Whether we have another year of drought or a year of wet weather, producers know that our nation and the world depend on what they do in the fields across America. Now, due to the drought, farmers are finding that mycotoxins are an increasing problem. Now, mycotoxins are a toxic chemical product produced by fungi that readily colonize crops. And because of the extreme heat and lack of water, farmers are seeing a spike in these poisons.
And these are poisons that can be very dangerous. Now, a quick question for you. What are producers saying to you about the Farm Bill and just really the general outlook for farming?
Rob, farmers and broadcasters alike are hoping for a new farm bill to be passed in this year's lame duck session. But a lot of people are saying that realistically, a farm bill is not going to happen until the 2013 legislative session.
All right. Well, keep us apprised. Thanks so much, Andy.
Thanks, Rob.
Well, when we return, we continue our look at what could be the growth industry of the 21st century.